Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Hola. ¿Cómo estás, Red Sox Nation? He estado trabajando en mi español por un momento como este. This is a moment I can work on my Spanish. That's basically what I said. So we got a pretty good panel today. We're going to introduce everybody. Let's just get right to it. He played in the World Baseball Classic from Team Puerto Rico in 2006 and 2009, and then he served as the team's general manager in 2017 from Puerto Rico. Red Sox manager Alex Cora. Give it up. Wow. He was one of the players on Team Puerto Rico in the 2017 World Baseball Classic and will be playing for Team Puerto Rico in this year's World Baseball Classic. Red Sox do everything. Kikè Hernandez. Give it up. A Hall of Famer, a 2004 World Series champion, and one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball history from the Dominican Republic. Give it up for the Hall of Famer, Pedro Martinez, everybody. Also a Hall of Famer, also a 2004 World Series champion, as well as 2007 and 2013 World Series champion, a man who really needs no introduction from the Dominican Republic. Give it up for David Ortiz. And currently one of the best hitters in all of baseball. He will be playing for the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic in this year's WBC. Give it up for Rafael Devers, ladies and gentlemen. La bestia. And also joining us, my man, Davison Perez, doing the interpretation for us as well. So give it up for him. Let's go. All right, as you guys know, this is baseball, the global game, and we got really a panel of guys, gentlemen I admire and respect, who can really go into kind of what this game means and how they kind of got introduced to it. We'll also hit some fan questions as well, but let's start with you, AC. What was your introduction to baseball? When did you realize it was kind of bigger than just your island of Puerto Rico?
So the introduction to baseball was by my dad. My dad was the president of Little League chapter in my hometown, the founder of the Little League chapter in my hometown. So as you can imagine, we talk baseball at home for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whenever you need a snack too, you talk baseball. Went to a lot of games in winter ball to see my brother who played in the big leagues too. So I had the privilege of just being around the game since I was just a little kid. This whole thing about what you want to do when you grow up, like firefighter or policeman or a lawyer or whatever, for me it was kind of like I wanted to be a baseball player, and I was blessed to be able to do that and a little bit more now.
Kikè, you're from the island as well. Did you have a plan B?
I can't share that, but no, not really. I mean, this has been the dream since I was 6 years old when I started playing, and like AC said, I've been fortunate enough to make a career out of it, and we're still going, and hopefully we can play for a long time. But yeah, started when I was 6. My dad took me to baseball camp when I was 4, and I told him after the first day that I didn't want to go back because the sun was too hot. And a couple years later, he was playing in a softball league, and he took me to a couple games, and I want to be like my dad, so I asked him to take me to play baseball, and I fell in love right away.
Just going down the line here, what about you, Pedro? Growing up into a baseball-loving region in the DR, when did your passion really get solidified?
Well, I used to hear a lot of stories about my dad, my uncles, and everybody, but I just wanted to be out there. I just wanted to go out there and be free. And baseball was a perfect sport to actually be free, be out there. I was always hyper. I was always moving. If I wasn't playing baseball, I was climbing a tree and then jumping out of it.
Mango tree.
If not, I went up to the mango tree and grabbed the mangoes and then come down with them and eat them. Yeah, so even my sisters all said, pay the price. I would take my sister's doll's head and swing at it. Anything round was fair game for us. A lot of cousins, a lot of brothers, so we always had a team. So that's how I really learned to love the game and appreciate what the game brought to us. And then to make things better, my brother got signed by the Dodgers, so I wanted to be like my idol, my brother Ramon. So I followed on his steps. That's how I got wrapped around.
And for you, David, you played across a couple different eras. When did you realize that baseball was such a global game? You got different people from different walks of life in the clubhouse, what have you. When did you realize it kind of connected the world?
I would say the minute you jump into the pro, you start basically connecting with different personality, different nationality, and once you realize that you're gonna be playing with people from all the way around the globe, you realize that this is gonna be a game that connecting and building up relationship is part of what we do. And when it comes down to, once I figured out that I want to be a baseball player, I don't know, it's something that it's like a mystery because you get wrapped up into the sport, and once you jump into the pro, you start thinking about the big league, but while you're a kid, you're just having fun and getting yourself wrapped up into something that if you are lucky enough to have parents that guide you, and take care of you, it helps, down the road with the things that you want to accomplish.
Speaking of kids, Rafi, your story is well documented, obviously. Signing as a 16-year-old, you really didn't have much time to think about what else you wanted to do. Kind of asked you the same question I asked Kikè. Was there a plan B for you as well, being so young? And then two, when did you understand that there was really a lot of passion around the sport that you love?
Que si tú en tu carrera tenías un plan B, o sea, en términos de si tú querías jugar otro deporte o algo y...
No, siempre he sido muy amante de la pelota de mi papá. Él es frustrado, vamos a decir, en ese término, frustrado con el béisbol. Y me he llevado de la pasión que le tiene. Y siempre, nunca he cambiado mi forma, siempre lo único que sé hacer, no sé semana que no sea jugar pelota. Y siempre los hago a disfrutar, lo único que sé hacer.
Yeah, no, it's a love that my dad gave to me. He was big into baseball, so I just kind of followed that. He would take me to the field, and that's where it was born.
Absolutely. One thing that feels like that's been consistent theme here is the familiar aspect. A lot of it has been passed down from family, brothers, who kind of introduced the game, and that got the passion growing. And I'm sure are we ready for our fan questions, actually? We'll let you guys kind of drive the ship from here. I think we can start on this side and see what we got. As they continue to come up. Say your names, where you're from.
My name is Robbie Pacillo, and I'm from Southington, Connecticut. My question is for Alex Cora and Kikè Hernandez. Were you able to share similar stories as growing up in Puerto Rico?
But
some of my fondest memories in baseball was when my dad was able to coach winter ball, and he actually coached Caguas' team, and it was in 2001, and I was 9 years old, and for me, being able to be in that locker room, at the time there was a lot of big leaguers on that team, and for them to let me be a part of it, in my eyes, I was part of the team, I was out there taking ground balls with the guys. I was power shagging during BP. That's pretty much how I learned how to play outfield, by having that opportunity to spend time around them. AC probably doesn't even know, but I was watching him that age, and I was paying close attention to everything he did on the field, the way he carried himself, the little things that he did. Something that he did at that age that stood out to me was, because I'd never seen it live, it was he hit a ground ball to the shortstop, beat it out first, bat throw, and I don't know what happened, but I think it was in the 6th hole, second baseman backed the throw up at first, and AC like stopped, looked over to second, and he seemed like he was going to walk back to first base, and he just took off to second base because there was nobody there. And to me at that age, it stood out the way that he was always one step ahead of the game. And I would say that, like, obviously our biggest sport in Puerto Rico is baseball, and we bleed baseball. And but for me, some of my fondest memories as a kid was being able to spend that time, those couple months in that locker room with all the professional players that I looked up to, and I wanted to be them.
Nice question. Thanks.
He was a pain in the butt, but he was cool. It was cool to have him, and kind of like the same thing with him. I went through the same process with my brother. Joey played winter ball since like every year since 1986, 87, and to be able to go there and see Juan Gonzalez when he was 18, and I will ask my brother. I said, "Who's this guy? This tall, lanky guy. He's gonna be really, really good." And I'm like, really? And I didn't understand that aspect, and seeing Juan doing push-ups, and, lifting weights and all that. And then later on, he became this monster in Texas, driving in runs and hitting home runs, being able to be around Roberto Alomar, who's a Hall of Famer, probably the smartest baseball player I ever seen. If Kikè says that I am one step ahead of the game, Robert was 2 or 3 steps ahead. He was amazing. The other one, just see my brother, just like Pedro said, Ramon is his hero, he's his idol, right? And Joey, for me, is my brother, but he's my dad, my best friend, my favorite player. And to be able to see him go about his business in Ponce, in Puerto Rico, this guy was relentless. He's 5'7", and he knew that he had to work hard every day to stay in the big leagues, to be successful in the big leagues. That was the fun part of it. He taught me a lot just by watching. That's all I did. I never kind of like asked him why. I just look at him and follow his footsteps, and I'm very proud of him.
It's amazing. Let's get one from this side now.
Alex, Pedro, Papi, my 2 adult sons have been coaching baseball for years, successfully, and I just want to thank you guys, because when you're talking on TV, I don't know if you realize it, but hostess get quiet, Oz does, and they have learned so much from you guys and passed it on to the next generation. So I don't know if you realize how much you're affecting the game, but you are affecting the game, you are growing the game through people like that. Thank you.
All right, little bit, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Cole, and my question, I'm 6 years old, 6 and a half,
Get that right. Don't cut him short.
So my question's for Rafael Devers. So,
Yeah.
I really like your stance. I do it a lot. I really do that stance a lot. I really like that stance.
Your batting stance.
Gracias.
Thank you.
That's it. He just wanted to pay a compliment. That's it. Cole? Okay, excellent. We love it.
Well, Big Papi. My Grammy wants to kiss you.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was classic. Nice.
Boy, is beautiful. Your mom in trouble?
I mean, Cole is a tough act to follow, but please step up.
So do I. I actually do have a question. You guys, this panel is just phenomenal. But I do have a question for Big Papi. If you could relive just one swing of the bat in your entire career, which one would it be and why?
Whoa, that's heavy.
Well, man.
El batazo más importante de su vida.
I had to go to, I would say the Grand
It was
Slam.
a home run he hit of me in Minnesota. To the upper deck. And when he got released by Minnesota, that was the first thing that came to my mind. That guy, I don't want him to take me deep anymore. So I might as well bring him to the team and make him my teammate. That was the biggest home run he ever hit. That's why we have Big Papi with us. Because he hit that homer of me, and I said, no more.
He never focused about the 50 punch out that he gave me. But back to your question, I mean, I guess that grand slam that I hit in the 2013 playoffs, it was very meaningful.
Oh.
Yeah. Life changing.
There you go.
There it is.
Thank you. There we go. We got it up there. Classic. What a swing. You're up next, my man. What you got?
So I just got a comment from Papi and Pedro first. I go to college in Albany, New York, and the kid that lives next to me, he's a pitcher, and he plays in the same summer ball league as your boys, and he wanted me to let you know he struck both your boys out.
Oh.
Come on.
It's okay. That's okay.
So now for my question, for all of you guys, really. How hard was the recruiting process for making it from high school to the pros, especially for Papi and Pedro, compared to Rafi and Kikè now, with how much recruiting has grown?
It's an interesting question, for sure. I mean, the game has definitely changed over the years. I'm curious to hear about how your experience was different than maybe theirs.
So in our case, it's different than theirs because we're part of the draft. So we go through the process in high school. In my case, I ended up going to the University of Miami, got drafted again. I still remember when Minnesota actually drafted me in 1993. I was like, no chance I can play in the in baseball. I remember Edwin Rodriguez, who managed the Marlins. He went to the house, offered me the signing bonus, and told me, "You're gonna go to somewhere like in the like Great Falls, Montana, I think it was, or something."
Ooh,
and I was like, where? Where's that at in the map? You know, like I'm like, let me go to Miami first. And in Miami, obviously, take advantage of the education part of it. Playing in the World Series in Omaha, it kind of like helped me to become the player I was and the man I am, and it really helped me, to become a big league player and a big league manager.
You can clap it up.
Yeah, like AC said, we go through the draft, and I got drafted when I was 17 in 2009. Going into my senior year, back in Puerto Rico, scouts, you got the Puerto Rican scouts that are following you all year long, and then the bigger scouts from the organizations, they fly in every once in a while to see you, so you don't have that much of a chance to be exposed to scouting and stuff like that. And my parents had to do a lot of sacrifices in order for me to go to tournaments in the U.S. and the perfect game tournaments and things like that. And I happened to have a really good senior year, kind of matured as a player and got a little bit, I grew like 5 inches from my junior year to my senior year. Always really good defender, but my bat started coming along, and I was able we have this called the Tournament of Excellence in Spanish. That is the big tournament for the high school kids. And I was able to go out there and I had a really, really good tournament. And yeah, it's tough in Puerto Rico. Like I said, you got the Puerto Rican scouts that draft you all year long, and then the scouts come every once in a while, and they might see you for a game or two. Puerto Rico rains a lot, so there's a really good chance the game gets rained out and they never see you. So it's all about luck and being at the right place at the right time, because sometimes you're high on the board and they happen to see you for 2 games and you had 2 really bad games, which happens. It can happen to anybody, and you fall down the board. And it just, like I said, I was at the right time. I was at the right place at the right time, and luckily I was able to get drafted high enough so my mom didn't force me to go to college. And here we are now.
Where would you have gone to college?
Miami-Dade College, community college. I was trying to do the basketball one and done plan, but yeah.
Well, for us it's different. We sign as free agents internationally, out of the Dominican Republic. For me, it was really fortunate the fact that I had my brother sign with the Dodgers organization because I was able to go to the academy, get professional instructions at an early age. Plus, my brother didn't want me on the streets too much because I used to fight on my way back from school. So he made sure that if I behaved, I was going to be at the academy on weekends after school. So I did that. And thanks to baseball, I did not get my mouth punched out a lot of times. But at 16 and a half, finally the Dodgers gave me an opportunity to sign with them as a free agent. And from there on, the rest is history. Just work hard, dedicate yourself, love your game, respect the game, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Keep going on, but everything good. Thanks to God.
But I don't know you were a troublemaker.
I used to be, yeah. I used to be.
You don't look like it.
No, but then in baseball it showed up again.
Sometimes.
And most of the time, because of guys like him, I didn't like when anybody hit my players. And
He was very protector.
I was very protective.
Mama bear.
Yeah, Mama bear. with two cute little bears.
Thanks for the question. We'll go to this
guys.
side now.
My name is Riley, and I'm from Middletown. And
Riley?
yeah,
Okay.
this question is for David Ortiz. How much do you miss being on the Red Sox?
I mean, you know, like, that's a good question, actually. As a player, you know, times go by, you start getting older. Of course, at some point, you're going to have to retire. I'm very fortunate that I still work for the Red Sox for the rest of my life, you know, which is, you know, I can be around the guys, helping out, whatever. But playing is a thing that never goes away. I mean, you always, in your mindset, you always want to live those moments. I was fortunate enough to retire when I feel like retiring, which is something that for us, it's hard to do. I mean, people always say, don't he play for 20 years? Why he don't retire? Why doesn't he retire? As an athlete, as a human, athlete had the shortest career out of everybody. Like, if you are a doctor or if you work in an apartment or whatever, you can do it until you turn, you know, 50, 60, 70, whatever. We retired and we're still young, you know, and it's because of the fact that age start catching up. But I always miss being around the boys, you know, once in a while, and you know, those things that we used to do in the clubhouse, you know, and things like that. Those are the things that you miss the most.
Good question, Riley. It's really a family, though. You never really go away. You're always around the game, always around these guys. What's up, man? What you got?
My name's Luca, and it's for David Ortiz. When you got left out, like released by the Twins, what was your mindset?
Good question.
Good one.
I thought I was finished, to be honest with you. Like I was, or not that I thought I was finished. I was very disappointed because I know what I was capable of. They didn't use me properly the way they should. I had a good season based on the time that I played. And then, and the most important thing, I don't have the experience that I have down the road. So in your mind, you put those thoughts, you know, based on being released. But I continued working. I went back home and played winter ball, and then I bumped into these guys. And game recognized game. He know that I had the ability to, you know, be able to do my thing, and my compadre went like, this is what he told me when he first saw me, and I told him, we bumped into this restaurant, right? And he say to me, so how's it going? And I'm like, I just got released. You know what he say to me, my favorite? They messed up. Let me make a phone call. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Happy that he made that phone call. Thanks for the question. That was a really good one.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Rafael, I just want to start by saying I and I think everyone in this room is so proud of you. We can't wait for the next 11 years. It's going to be so much fun.
That's right.
So my question is for you and for Pedro. Besides Fenway, what's your favorite park to pitch at, and what was your favorite park to hit at?
¿Cuál fue tu parque favorito de batear?
Boston, el Fenway me gusta porque tengo mucha confianza ahí cada vez que puedo batear la bola para donde me dé la gana y ya conozco todo el estadio.
Fenway, of course. Boston, I know the park well. I can hit the ball all over the park, and it's just familiar to me. So, of course, it's Boston.
And Pedro?
Well, my favorite place to pitch will always be Fenway, but I love going to Yankee Stadium and striking out. I absolutely love beating up on the Yankees. I loved it. I did really well against Seattle. There was a point where I was like at 10-0 against Seattle and Ken Griffey and those guys, but nothing better than going to Yankee Stadium and going, yeah! The Yankees. That's the place you want to go and yeah!
That's personal.
I love it.
That was personal, yeah.
That's awesome. Great motivation. What's up, little man?
My name is Evan, and my question is for Pedro Martinez and David Ortiz. What was it like losing in 2003 to then winning in 2004?
Wow.
Whew.
Great turnaround. 2003
is, to me, the most painful game we have ever lost. For me, in my career. It's the only game that made me feel like crying, but because it was against the Yankees, I did not let them enjoy one of my tears. If it was any other team, I would have probably cried. That's how painful it was for me. But, and disappointed. I mean, I was extremely disappointed that we couldn't reel in that win. But I tell you what, nothing sweeter than coming back from an 0-3 against the same Yankees and doing it in Yankee Stadium. I had the absolute pleasure of going out there to their dugout, yeah! I did that to the Yankees. And this guy was a huge reason why we were able to kind of taste the sweet taste of winning. And also in the World Series as well. And Manny as well.
Yes.
Cuckoo Bird Manny.
Cuckoo Bird.
One of the sweet redemption stories in sports. They should make a movie about it. Wait, they did.
Yeah.
They did, right?
What you got, man?
Have you guys been friends for a long time?
These are brothers.
Yes, we have. More than 25 years.
Wow. That's it? Okay. Thank you. Nice job. What's going on? Oh, that's my man Elijah, right?
Get yourself a friend.
Yeah. My name's Alexander Made.
That's
I
right.
come from Dominican Republic. My little brother has a question.
Okay.
I want to play from the Boston Red Sox, and I pitch with two hands.
What did he say?
He said, I want to play for the Boston Red Sox, and I pitch with two hands? Wow,
Boy,
that's impressive.
one is good enough.
Time. Sign him.
Let's go. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. That's great. So we got a lot of people lining up. We got about 15 minutes left, so we'll try to get through these rapidly as much as possible.
Hi, I was wondering when you guys were little, did you guys play like Vitia in your hometown?
Oh yeah, Vitia is like entertainment. When you only have one-on-one let's say, Vitilla will be the most entertaining game because I get to pitch to you, strike you out, or grab the Vitilla moving when you hit it, and then I get to go and hit. Vitilla is a game that we kind of came up with just so that we could do the one-on-one kind of play. One hits, the other fields. And since it doesn't go all that far, you can actually run, chase it, and grab it. And it's the only baseball-related game that you don't need too many participants. You can actually play it on a one-on-one.
Your brother, yeah. And one thing that is important about that game, it teaches you how to track the ball really well. Because the Vitilla curves so much that
like
if
a
you
wiffle
you don't track it, you won't hit it. So, yeah, that was something that I did a lot. I break a lot of windows playing Vitilla. Run!
You got experience with Vitilla, Rafi?
Sí, yo jugué mucho Vitilla en Dominicana allá y es como David dice, es un juego que uno tiene que tener mucha anticipación para batearla porque trae mucho movimiento, es algo que uno lo hace para divertirse allá en Dominicana, siempre desde pequeño, es lo primero que hacemos, jugar Vitilla y eso nos ayuda, a mi pensar nos ayuda bastante a nosotros, porque es lo mismo, algo similar al béisbol.
Yeah, just like David said, it's a sport that you need to really know how to track the ball, and your anticipation has to be really good. So it's just something that we would do for fun, and yeah, it's well versed in Vitilla.
All right, great training ground, Vitilla.
I have a question for David Ortiz. How
Yes.
did you get the name Big Papi?
How? I'm always, like I always say, I live in my own bubble. And I don't remember no one's name. So I call everybody Papi, and they Papi me back. That's how I got them. They start calling me Papi, Papi, Papi. That's it. Oh, and rest in peace, Jerry
Rim, that's right.
He called me like that in one time that I was going to hit. He announced me as a Big Papi, and that was it.
That's right.
Because it was something that we used to do in between us until he announced me as a Big Papi out there, and that was it. Seal it.
Yeah, Jerry brought it to the masses. We're always thinking about him. Thanks for the question. How you doing, Missy?
Hi, I'm Michaela, and first of all, I just wanted to say thank you. This has been such a wonderful experience for the fans. I'm a teacher, and part of what I teach is Latino studies, and we talk about the contributions of Latino athletes, and I was just wondering if there's anything that you all would want me to share with my students.
Good one. Take it back. You want to help her with her curriculum?
I think as far as like what you can teach him, and I think everybody here will agree, a lot of Roberto Clemente. A lot of Roberto Clemente. And this is something that, this guy, what he did on the field was amazing, right? But off the field, there's another Hall of Fame up there in heaven. He's in the Hall of Fame because to do the things that he did, the things that we know, and there's stuff that we don't know, is amazing. We went to the Clemente Museum last year in Pittsburgh. What an experience, There's so many things that we didn't know, and, we grew up in Puerto Rico that at one point I was like, man, this is horrible that we don't know that, and that's something us as Puerto Rican, we got to do a better job in our island, and hopefully you guys can do it here. A lot of Roberto Clemente to this kid.
Thank you.
Going on, man. Step to the mic.
This one's for David Ortiz. What's your favorite home run?
My favorite home run? The Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. That Grand Slam went into the Hall of Fame for the Red Sox, so
David, I'm going to tell you my favorite Grand Slam. I was playing shortstop against you in a Caribbean series, and Omar Olivares was pitching in Carolina, bro. And there's the fence, then there's the bullpens, there's a hill, there's the wall, and there's the parking lot. And this guy, demolished. It was a fastball in 2-0 count. Omar threw a little cutter inside, and David hit that ball, and I was like, wow, this is not the same guy that played with Minnesota trying to go the other way, hitting 300. This is the real guy. And
The guy that they
Kikè,
want him to
I'm
be a
telling you.
punching Judy.
Remember that one?
Yep.
2000,
Yeah.
I think it was right around
That
there.
was a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Big swing. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and what is your best advice for a high school baseball player?
High school baseball player. Best advice.
Hard work and the power of dreaming, setting your goals and having a clear mindset of what you want to accomplish in life, and don't stop dreaming. I mean, I'm still dreaming. I've been dreaming my whole life to play shortstop, and now I convinced AC that I can play.
So yeah. Keep on dreaming. That's amazing. What's going on, man?
All right, so Latinos take a special pride in being able to represent their country. All of you guys have had the chance to represent your country. Carita this year gets to play for Santo Domingo for the first time, I believe. What does it mean for you to be able to have Puerto Rico across your chest, have Santo Domingo across your chest? ¿Qué significa para cada uno de ustedes hasta poder representar tu país en el Clásico Mundial? Y cuando lo ganaron, ¿qué significó eso para tu país, celebrar con toda la gente de tu país?
Represent your country, it doesn't matter what you do, it's something that goes beyond of what we think it is. I mean, you go all the way back in the history of your family, where you come from. Like you see guys born and raised here in the U.S., but their grandparent was from Australia, and you know the relationship that normally you build up with your grandparents. You want to represent your grandparent country, you know, or your mom and dad, wherever they come from. You know, those are the type of things that make sport united and well connect with people. You know what I'm saying? Me representing the Dominican Republic, you know how I feel about this country. This country has embraced me, has given me opportunity, has made my family and me get in a better shape, better situation. But then when you go back to your country, where you were born, when you were raised, where you went through all the struggle with your family and everything, and where you learn what you know, it's a different type of feeling, you know? So representing my country, the Dominican Republic, is one of the best things that I think I have ever done in my career while I was a player.
And what does 617 means to you? 617 right there.
Oh, 617?
This is our
city. I was at that game, so I definitely heard it live. So I was like, whoa, what did he just say?
You felt that, huh? Thanks so much. That was really good.
Very nice.
All right. What you got?
My grandson wants to ask Papi. You going to say it? No.
This is your moment. Capitalize. Come on.
I told him, it's his chance. He wants to know, what was your greatest walk-off?
Walk-off? What do you think, compadre?
Your greatest walk-off?
Oh, yeah, I got to give it to
Oh,
4.
believe me.
Yeah, leaving the Yankees
Believe
on the
me.
bench, looking at us, you know, partying. I got my personal problem with the Yankees. I'm pretty sure you guys know.
And just a couple things I wanted to say, Papi. I was about 14 rows deeper when you hit that in 13. A little harder next time, please. And I want to thank,
Next time in the other life, I try harder.
I want to thank all of you for what you do for the Red Sox. I lived through the lean years.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thanks so much. All right, let's try to go rapid fire here. What you got?
All right. So, Kikè, you said you're dreaming about playing shortstop, but I want to know, are you comfortable playing shortstop at the major league level?
Have you ever seen me do anything? I'm very confident.
Very athletic.
Nice. I think you'll be fine there. What you got, man?
My question's for Big Papi.
Boy, pull it.
2013, you said your greatest moment was when you hit the grand slam or your greatest home run. But do you understand, like, I know you. I'm sure you understand. I just didn't know how big a deal it was to all the people in Boston, the way you moved them forward, getting through Patriots Day. You know, and you actually changed people, got them going, got people letting them know, like, this is our, however you say it.
Yeah.
I mean, how big of a part of your overall career is that to you?
Well, don't take me wrong. Playing wise, I look at the home run like one of my biggest hits. But moment wise, I think what happened during the marathon, where a city needs to be lifted up and reunite, and because you know that once you hit bottom, you have no other choice than just go back up. But sometimes you need leadership. Sometimes you need to hear from someone who had no fear, someone who just want to ride. Like me personally, in my life, I have been through so many tough times, and the only choice I feel like I have is just put myself together and try to bounce back up. And I think that moment needs someone who take that biggest step. I mean, I wasn't expecting to have the impact that I have based on how I feel and what I say. But thanks God it happened, because I saw that city bounce back in a way that we look invincible. And that's one of my biggest moments, I would say.
Incredible. All right, we got time for just a couple more, so let's hit it right here.
I have a question for David Ortiz. If you were to be on another team besides the Twins and the Red Sox, what would it be?
Man, nobody has ever asked me that question. It's not going to be the Yankees for sure. Let me make myself clear. But, you know, like, once you get used to winning, you want to go for the winning ball club. But, so I think I wouldn't mind playing for the Dodgers, maybe. You know, the Dodgers is an organization that have an incredible history. It have a very major impact in the Dominican Republic when nobody really thought that we can develop so many great players throughout the years. The Dodgers was one of the first organizations that landed in the Dominican and started building up players like my compadre, his brother, Raul Mondesi. I mean, I can mention tons of them. All of them went through the Dodgers organization, and probably that's one of the reasons why I would pick them if I have another choice.
Dodgers is different. I mean, you wore the uniform, so did you, and you did as well, Pedro. So,
Not Rafi.
yeah, you'll never wear that uniform. All right, this is our last one. So I'm sorry for everybody waiting in line, but we gotta wrap it up with my man right here.
Okay, so my dad's from Puerto Plata in the Dominican, so I just want to thank you all. You've helped a kid like me dream big, and I wish I was on that stage, but still have big dreams other than playing for the Red Sox. My Spanish isn't so great, but mi pregunta es para Rafi. ¿Por qué tú necesitas la práctica? En inglés, por favor, ¿cuál es tu parte favorita de la ciudad de Boston? Other than Fenway.
Que se lo diga en inglés.
En inglés.
Por favor.
En inglés.
Trata en inglés.
My favorite part the Boston is like I don't know.
Sushi.
No. Like the fan more en que ayúdame ahí.
He got there, almost.
Tú sabes que lo más lindo de la ciudad es que los fanáticos siempre nos están apoyando y que hay muchos sitios donde visitar, como donde yo vivía ahí, el lugar cerca de Chinatown, me encantaba esa parte, que siempre salía y me divertía pila por ahí.
Yeah, Boston's just amazing. The fan base is great. You know, I was staying at the Ritz in Chinatown, and that area, I love that area, being able to go out for a bite to eat, walking around. There's plenty of places to go in Boston, so yeah, I love the city.
Ya, lo me hizo sudar. You make it sweat in me, man.
We got a lot more. There you go. Interviews in English.
El
this year, I think.
difícil.
He's going to work on his English. I'm going to work on my Spanish, and we'll
There
come
you go.
back together.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody, but we want to thank these men so much for coming up here, spending the time with us. Red Sox manager Alex Cora, Red Sox players Kikè Hernandez, Rafael Devers, Hall of Famers David Ortiz, and Pedro Martinez. Thanks so much, everybody. Enjoy the week. Yeah.